Hey, French toast people. I don't even know what to do, man. It's a good day. Look at this thing looking like a BP. See this thing looking all creepy over here? That is really creepy looking. Look at that thing. Look at this one. 1, 2, Mario 64. You could even complete it of like a 1 into a 2 into that, right? This is so messed up. I got recorded today a rage quit. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'll just tell you this: I got a Green Bay Packers female naked. Is what I'm saying to you, man. It's pretty crazy. There's dang it, Darius, man. Dang it, Darius. Dang it. That one's awesome. I like the new graphics. They keep putting these new graphics into Splatoon. It looks so different on my camera. Like right here, does it look different? Yeah, it does. Because you can see on like the actual game, you can see the face and the mouth a little bit over here. But on my camera, it looks it's pretty nuts. Oh wow. It's good energy. That's why it's the camera's cutting it off because it's like the Mario 64 crazy stuff and a little bit of Shadow of Colossus, but I would go mostly Mario 64 in this spot. Yeah, crazy, right? So this is still. Now, the reason all the Zelda worlds are about still world, is there is something that I'm thinking about. There's of course your typical dead legs, right? But there's something like I'm thinking about with the feeling that they have for Mario 64 and the feeling for Shadow of Colossus. And Shadow of Colossus is a really complicated one. Odd movement, just like very odd movement. And you've seen so many phrases of odd movement, like odd moves, just odd and odd stuff. Look at this uni, right? You see this uni, right? Oh my gosh. It's so bizarre that porn stars really do get in like a spot like that. You know how porn stars be getting in a spot like that and they be just getting drilled. And there's that, right? We could get an actual female. That's the creepy part, is we could probably get a female. Keisha Gray is an okay one. But see how scary this thing looks right here? This 1, 2. This right here is crazy. See how crazy this is? This is we could go with Fallen Star, or we could just go with like any female, really. You know what? Like that one female that will have like she'll have the boobs, but her boobs will not match her belly. So her boobs will be different from her belly. That kind of stuff. And yeah, disturbing picture, right? I know. Look at the excitement on this one. This one's good. This is a Mario 64. 1, 2, 3. The human rising from the ground. I know, that's crazy, right? Yeah, the human rising from the ground. That is very insane. That definitely feels like Shadow of Colossus. They have to have Shadow of Colossus to hide the Mario 64, So the Mario 64 has to be hidden by other stuff. And but the cool thing is that in Mario 64 they get covered. There's like this disturbing cover kind of part, like getting covered and not knowing what they're really covered in. This one's good for Mario 64 also surprisingly here. This 1, 2. And that could even be for Shadow of Colossus. Shadow of Colossus has placements that I'm looking for. I'm looking for the placements and the spots of faces. So I'm looking for like the faces, the spots. And this face I go mainly with Mario 64 because the Mario 64 faces are like really evil. They're really they are stills. So yeah, this is some creepy Zelda echoes of wisdom information. Yeah, you notice how this looks like grape, right? So this all right here just looks like grape. We're back at the creepy part of if a male is with a female and they get stuck inside the female. Let's get stuck inside, right? They love all the catchphrases to Xenoblade are very, very demented. They're very awesome and they're like very, they're good. I think it comes from the idea that went into Xenosaga and went into Xenoblade. Xenosaga is very controversial, and Xenogears. Xenogears is controversial, but Xenosaga is very, very controversial, just as much as Xenogears. Xenogears is very, very good. I love Xenogears. That's why I know that people don't know how to make tier lists. You can't learn how to make it. That is another creepy thing. People don't know how to make a tier list. To make an actual tier list to video games, you'd fry your brain. You get what I'm saying? Your brain would be fried. This is a good one too, right here. This is why I always talk about blood. 1, 2. We'll show this one also. This one right here is cool. This is cool. This is Mario 64. A little bit of Shadow of Colossus. It's going to be very confusing most of the time. There's BP, right? And I do think BP looks different on my camera. Checking. Yeah, a little bit. This is a hole. This hole right here going into like an 8. So that's the whole point of 8. Silent Hill is a very hard one to break down. Also, that's why I'm unlike people who talk about Silent Hill. I'm more patient on Silent Hill. I'm a patient person when it comes to it. This is why Noah is part of the Shadow of Colossus stuff also. And it's no surprise to me why he would be part of the Shadow of Colossus. If you look at this whole thing right here, it looks very odd. This is a side. See how odd sides look? Shadow of Colossus does things with the cursor, the actual cursor of the video game that I'm shooting with. So that's showing you how sides are crazy, because sides can still be a part of Mario 64. So basically the Shadow of Colossus stuff may look a little different from Mario 64, but they're still like part of the Mario 64 stuff. And that's why you have this one and this one right here. It's looking like all shocked and amazed. This could feel more like a Shadow of Colossus. So you could have Shadow of Colossus underwear, but this could also feel like a Mario 64. And it feel like a Mario 64 due to the grow and the drip of blood. So Ray, see, this is why it's a Shadow of Colossus also, is because it's a Ray. But like Ray is like feet up above in the sky stepping on your head, right? But what would happen if your head was to be jolted and jabbed? You can die from it, but you could also get blood from your head, right? You could get the impulsion of blood coming out of your head, right? Because directly up above Ray is stomping your head in. And that's how crazy this information gets. That's good right there. That 1, 2 is good. That's kind of talking about how Shadow of Colossus and Mario 64 could be together again in the hover way, the actual hover way. And this is kind of an idea of Shadow of Colossus right there. So Shadow of Colossus, A little bit of Mario 64 also, because Mario 64 has this. The main thing that I've noticed with Mario 64, see how that's like a 1-2 right there? I also like looking at that like a Shadow of Colossus, because 1-2 right there. Even though it looks like a Mario 64 thing, it's kind of like there's no head. You know what I'm saying? There's no head, and now you got the tiny faces, because that's one of the highlights of Shadow of Colossus. Is these creepy tiny faces that can do things that are wow, just like wow. And that spot right there, see the piece? So yes, the girl in Concord that was wearing the sunglasses, she is very, 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 very important. She was very important, and that's why I felt like people weren't patient. And it's really hard for somebody to be patient, but like, mainly the devil stuff will always be here, is what I'm saying too. The devil stuff is not gonna go away. It's gonna be here, and that's a leg right there. So that's more of your like leg up stuff, because the leg has to get up off the dirt. And this one right here is see how it's on its back. This one's pretty confusing. Maybe we could see like a big man angle from this one. But for this one, you got the obvious foot, right? So foot, mouth, eating a foot. You know what I'm saying? Eating a foot, because some people eat chicken feet, right? You've watched 90 Day Fiance, right? So watch 90 Day Fiance, right? The chicken feet thing. Chicken feet is a form of protein also. That's why I think people try to eat chicken feet, even though people don't know how they feel about chicken feet. 1, 2, that's a Mario Wonder, right? Okay, so of course we're going to have a Mario Wonder. That kind of makes it, that's just kind of like a tutorial kind of thing. But I know people aren't the biggest fan of tutorial things. But this one's cool. See, that there's the 1, 2. That's a good one too. So we'll point that with the pen. This is 1, 2, and that's why in Mario Wonder you were walking by that nasty. And honey is honeycombs. For Banjo-Kazooie, there's a cereal, but honey is a very good food. Talked about food item. I think it's due to like that. If you do honey, you're getting your antioxidants, but you're getting some kind of form of like, a cure, which is good for your, just your inflammation and your immune system and all that. This Y stuff is crazy. Yes. What you think about crosses all the time of church crosses, movie, people who have the cross tattoo, right? Who have to have that basic tattoo that everybody has, right? Of a cross tattoo, which was, so before I talked about the secrets, there was the movies, right? Remember, there was the movies where they would go and they'd get that tattoo, and there's also the product food items. So there's product food items you think about that will have the cross next to aspartame, right? And aspartame is a very crazy topic. That's how you get like the females who go and purchase Diet Coca-Cola, right? Not Diet Coca-Cola, Diet Pepsi, right? And then there's the, and I know like people are like, yo, when are you going to talk about the gold and silver soda drinks? Because there's gold and there's a silver drink. But, and there's different flavors of Pepsis and all that. And there's different flavors of Coca-Cola. There's the lime Coca-Cola, which is hilarious. That one got discontinued, but that was actually a good idea for Coca-Cola. That was lime has some health benefits, but some people didn't like it, so that's why it just got away. There's 1, 2 right there. See that 1, 2 right there? That's why I keep trying to pay attention to Mario 64 at times. Because there is something else that I'm forgetting to Mario 64, right? And that's a little bit like, we have Muck, we have Grimer. Pokemon Legends ZA will be crazy. Yes, we will have Uni. See, now it's a 1, 2, 3. We will have uni. We will have a bunch of creepy stuff. This is messed up to keep seeing this again and again, but this is like this is right. This could be considered for so many things. You could consider this for a transgender vagina. Okay. You could consider this for disassociation, blood marks, disassociation blood marks. This is also like I, and that's what's creepy about it. That's a capital I. Remember, the I that I'm always focused on is the I that's just the I with the dot, which is like the VHS form, right? But yes, the capital I easily makes Mary, right? So Mary comes off as what she comes off as. She does come off as like a hotel. She comes off very creepy. The more that we see this one right here, this piece, because we have Pauline, right? But the more we see this piece, it gets creepier and creepier. This is like a pair of pants, right? So we have the whole Shantae thing, right? So here's the 1, 2, 3 Shantae. But there is this thought behind pants and behind shorts that I'm trying to think about, but it's very, very crazy thing. There is certain things you can do with your pants too, That's what people do study. They study with certain things with their pants, right? When you get into a stable mind like this, see, this is how this video actually goes on for 16 minutes. But you have to you have to do a lot of odd things, a lot of odd spots. This is like a kind of form of hover. See how hover is? Hover is a crazy detail in a way of like, there's like from Zelda 64, Green of Time. There's the likes. This is the oval that's going to be, there's a primary oval that's being used right now. So there might be some Zelda stuff, Pokemon ZA Legends, because this is an oval, and an oval, also it's a pipe, right? There's pipes that people smoke, right? There's also the spoon, right? Which if you're going to go to a hotel, you're going to have, people who use spoons, right? Right? And now, if you're wondering how any of this stuff is connected into video games, Silent Hill Shattered Memories is a game that people try to ignore, but you can't ignore Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Silent Hill Shattered Memories is talking about one of the deep topics. This one here is like penile. See this little dot, this little cream dot? This is like penile. That could also be vagina, because vagina could get cream on it. And this is the whole point of like, look at Try. Look how many odd things Try makes. I like how odd this looks, because it always looks like a Mario 64 Try, right? But once you add this mouth complex in, right, this one right here, and then, because it also looks like a nasty little bugger, of course, but once you add this little spot in here, like a mouth, right? And then you're going to just go like a 1 and then a 2 up above, right? That's why I focus on Shadow of Colossus. There is, because there's a ton of STDs, there's bumps, there's skin changes in your skin, not just even STDs. I think there is there's like a skin change that basically when a person gets with another person, they get like their blood in together with each other. And once their blood is in with each other, their skin gets a different reaction, and that's why you see people with different skin reactions. Maybe you'll meet somebody once that you see in your life that does not have the same skin reaction as you remember. And then you're like, but now you're like looking at them due to the pigment, the pigment, right? Also, when it comes to pigment, like pigment of skin, and then people who are born with pigments on their skin, that's a very crazy topic. and that's a very that's a very very good conversation that you can have. That's so crazy that looks like boobs. I know, right? That cross looking like boobs. But there is the story of the three sisters for the Bible. So there is that story. There is because you got to remember, there's always going to be Fortuna. So we're always going to be finding some stuff on Fortuna, right? This is like grabbing a female's butt, but like this is the whole part of shiny, right? Like, ooh, it's shiny. Ooh, oh, it's shiny, huh? Look how we're using a slash right here to make an empty eye where BP should be. But look how we easily made a leg. See how we made that leg? That is what most legs look like. That is a conversation about legs. And then that points us into the try that's up here. That's this 1, 2, 3 try right here reminds me more of melons than a Mario 64 thing. So that's where the reference for Zelda is coming with the leg, got to get the leg up. That shine right there is good. That's Mario 64. 1, 2, 3. That's a good shine. It has a little bit of shading for Shadow of Colossus, but I know about some shines that I look for when I look at Mario 64. Mario 64 loves to make fun of people, and they like to make fun of people in the easiest way, that people think they actually know the people that make their video games. You don't know the people that make your video games, man. You don't know. That's like a vulva tube. See how that's a vulva tube up there? That's a whole vulva tube kind of thing going on right there. It also might be talking about sea creatures too, surprisingly, because of corals. There are certain sea creatures that are shaped a certain way. But once we add the vagina as a mouth, and then we go to, where will we go with this? This one's a complex puzzle to solve. But I think we would go... We'd add all two of them. We might add the third one also, but just the two side by side for yin and yang. So Mario 64 and Shadow of Colossus, like yin yang. This one right here, 1, 2, 3. So using Shadow of Colossus as melons, but that's a Mario 64. But using the melons, okay. And good and evil kind of stuff, right? So try is going to be really crazy. It's going to be crazy. I wonder what kind of ideas they have in Zelda that they're trying to think about with try. Here's a split, right? You see the try split. That's why we keep talking about stuff that goes through and into the system of the human body, right? You can actually see videos of a vagina breathing if you want to. There are videos where you can see a vagina breathing and all kinds of crazy stuff. There are those kind of videos. Is that a proper thing to see? Right? Like when you talk about, is that actually like a proper thing to see, right? That's always the crazy topic of what they mean by that, right? Right. So they're talking about that. And oh, that is cool. That is actually cool. That's not too bad. That 1, 2 right there, it's a reference to hover. Because hover looks bizarre. Stone looks bizarre. Stone is very bizarre in Zelda, because Zelda is just you picking up stones at Ocarina of Time being screwed with because you're picking up stones. And hover, I go with this one, I mainly go towards like the whole uni thing of uni. So I would go for uni, I would go I might end up just going with Mario 64 try for that. But I do like how it has a 1, 2, and it's kind of like it just gives me this hover vibes of like hover when hover starts levitating, and that's the way you start to look at Pokemon, right? That's the way that you start to look at the Elite Four battles of Pokemon and see why you were fighting those kind of Pokemon, right? Yeah, and because they were all chosen. Like every Pokemon is chosen for scenarios. You know, Blastoise definitely chosen for the try, right? For green, okay. So yeah, you look at all the battles. You look at Ninetales. You look at Marowak.